Good evening, council members. My name is Gary Gilbert. I'm the founder and chairman of United Citizens for Better Neighborhoods. And I'm here tonight to let you know that I represent several hundred members of this community and that we support Chief Hyde and the CAT team. They're doing an outstanding job responding to the complaints of the Antioch residents. And I also represent those that couldn't be here tonight out of fear of retaliation regarding the victimization and traumatization that they have undergone regarding some Section 8 tenants in our community. I'd like to begin by saying that this community will not allow public advocates or anyone else to make the residents and the city of Antioch their own personal piggy bank by trying to bankrupt. Now, we've all read in the newspaper yesterday about the 52 calls for service for one particular Section 8 home that they've had. In addition to that, we also read about an individual standing in his backyard shooting a semi-automatic weapon until the police department arrived. Now, from what I can see from this, the only form of discrimination that I can see in this particular city is those individuals that believe that they can trample on the rights of the civil rights of Antioch residents that want to live in a safe, quiet, and peaceful community. Now, I'd also like to say I see that Mr. Turner's here this evening representing the other contingency of individuals that are here. But what I'd also like to point out is that I believe that if there's been any discrimination in this city, I'm very confident that Roger Henry, who is the president of the NAACP, would have brought this matter forward, and that Mr. Turner is actually doing this on his own as a board member of the NAACP. So I don't see the reasons behind any of this. Now, I've worked with the CAT team on many occasions, and the function of the CAT team is actually to investigate complaints that are generated by the community from problem properties. When they go to these properties, they have no idea if the owner of the property, if it's an owner, if it's a renter, if they're black, if they're white, if they're Hispanic, if they're Asian, they have no idea who they're encountering when they go to these properties. So at this point, I don't see how anyone can come forward and say that they're being discriminated against regarding this measure.
I'm going to ask the whole audience to be quiet and be respectful for every speaker. If you don't, I will have the police escort you out. Go ahead, another 20 seconds.
Thank you. And I'd also like to say that for individuals in this room that support the CAT team, would you do so by raising up your signs? Would you raise up your hands? And clap for this team? Thank you. We support Chief Hyde, we support the CAT team. We appreciate the Thank you.
Wait for that. All right, Judy Lee.
I just want to say that I support the CAT team 100%, and I hope that the Antioch Police Department keeps doing its job, because I want to live in a safe environment, and I know that it has nothing to do with race. So I hope that
Thank you again, Mayor and City Council. This time I stand here as a resident of Antioch for the last 3.5 years, and I am speaking out to support the CAT team in their efforts. I'd like to remind people, if they've forgotten, this came from a great deal of frustration and fear in many different neighborhoods throughout our community. In my neighborhood alone, there was one neighbor who had 2 years of terror. There were late night parties, there were kids climbing on our roofs, there were cars revving down the street in the middle of the night. Finally, a young man was killed at one of these drunken parties as he drove home drunk. That would have slowed the parties or stopped them, you thought, but only for a couple of months. Then the arguments in the middle of the night were about who was driving and who had the keys. I have no idea if the people next to us were Section 8 or not, and while I wouldn't usually bring it up, they were white. And the CAT team was respectful to them and to our neighborhood, and as a result, they left 2 months after the reports with the CAT team. We now have our neighborhood back. The kids now play in the neighborhood again and ride their bikes. This is an important issue, and the CAT team has worked very hard to make us feel safe again where we live. This has always been and will always be about behavior and not race. And if the majority are Section 8, then that needs to be addressed. But that was not the focus and not why it was started. And Antioch's experience has led to the county and federal reforms. So if it opened up and showed abuses in the system, then I think that was also important. And again, abuse and behavior are the issues. I want to thank and support the CAT team.
I just wanted to say that, once again, this is not about racial profiling. It's statistics. And I know it's been said before, but it's the behavior. We need to stop it. I'm raising my children here. I want this to be a safe place. I want my children to be able to go to the park with me sitting there. I don't want to be pushed away by children, unattended by parents that are allowed to do anything they want. I'm not safe. During this meeting in the bathrooms, I did not feel safe. That's not acceptable. We need to change this. And I support my CAT team. I support Chief Hyde. And I support the Antioch Police Department. And thank you for all the changes you made so far. And I look forward to all the changes that are coming.